Right. Dr. Gopi, shall we start this session?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar titled How to Publish in High Impact Journals, organized by Young Scientists Forum, National Science and Technology Commission. I'm Dr. Asankar Rajpaksha, the moderator of the coordinator of the today's session. And then briefly explain myself. I'm working as a senior lecturer, Department of Nanoscience Technology, Faculty of Technology by University of Sri Lanka. The YSF is the process of organizing a series of webinars to create awareness and disseminate knowledge among young scientists on current and engaging scientific affairs and to support young scientists in the professional and capacity development. This is the fourth webinar session in 2024. Now I have the honor to introduce our esteemed resource person for today, Professor Subhash C.B. Gopinath. Professor Subhash Gopinath earned his doctorate from the University of Madras, India in January 1999. He then served as a postdoctoral research at the Institute of Academia Sinica, Taiwan from 1999 to 2003. Subsequently, he was awarded the Japan Society for the Promotion of Science Fellow Award, which allowed him to conduct research at the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology in Tsukuba, Japan, where he continued as a researcher from 2003 to 2014. He obtained 8 patents, including an immune aptamer that has been successfully commercialized internationally by Wako Chemicals Japan. Currently, Professor Gopinath holds the positions of professor in the Faculty of Chemical Engineering and Technology and Institute of Nanoelectronic Engineering at University Malaysia Perlis. With a remarkable academic career, he has published 977 papers, contributed 33 book chapters, and edited 5 books. His work is widely cited with over 17,600 citations and an H-index of 64. In addition to his roles in academia, Professor Gopinath serves as the Chief Scientific Consultant at Future Science China and holds various visiting and adjunct professor positions globally. His achievements and experiences make him one of the top 1% scientists in the world for several consecutive years. We are incredibly fortunate to have him share his valuable insight and guide us through the complexity of publishing in high-impact journals. Please join me in welcoming Professor Subhash Gopinath. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed this insightful session. Professor Gopinath, the session is overdue.
Can you see my slides? Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for joining this discussion. And my special thanks to Dr. Ashanga for arranging this meeting. What you are seeing in the screen is our main campus. So we are from Malaysia, from the state Perlis. So our university is University Malaysia Perlis. So this is our main campus. So we are at very close to Thailand. So from our university, about 30 minutes drive, we can cross the Thailand border. Actually, Perlis is one of the good places where you can see all kind of cultures. Here you can see Malay people, Indian, Chinese, and Thai. So basically, this is one of the places where you can find the mixed culture. Anyway, today we are going to discuss how we can make a good publication, especially in high impact journals. So in this talk or in this discussion, so mainly I'm going to discuss how we can publish, especially what are the steps to write a paper, and how we can decide the type of manuscript, and how we can publish within the available limited data, how we can enhance the quality of publication, how we can overcome the expectations from the journal, and how to select the journal, and the journal with no funding necessity. So basically, we need free journals. Yeah? So these are all like main key points I'm going to discuss today. So before going to the mainstream, just I want to highlight some of our strategies from our laboratory. These strategies we have been followed for several years, and we have successfully published several papers in high impact journals. So basically, we should understand that any data can be publishable. The point is where to publish. That means there are so many journals from low impact to high impact. So if you have limited data, you can make it like clear flow, clear writing, clear presentation. You can go for low impact journal with reasonable impact factor. If you have good data, you can go for high impact journal. That is one thing. And the second one thing is whenever we work with our research, so we should go along with the experimental results. So that means whenever we design some work, we expect some results. We have some target. Then we always work towards the target. But we may be wrong. So when you do the result, or when you do the research, or when you do the experiments, there must be the real way to go. So that means sometimes you get some wrong results or unexpected results. Still, you have to consider why we are having this kind of results. Then we should go along with that kind of experimental result. That we should consider all the time. Apart from your handling error, experiment error, there should be a real thing should be there. Okay. Then third one is we should fill the research gaps. What does it mean? So whenever you read some literature, you should correlate with our own expertise. Then you find the way, you find the gap to proceed the research. So that is the main thing we have been following. So we are actually from the nanotechnology field. We try to read different field of publications. Then we correlate with our own research. Then we make some new story and we publish several papers. That is the third thing. Fourth thing is we should always look for growing WOS journal. I will later explain what is WOS. So that means there are many journals. They are starting from the scratch and they are growing slowly. When journal growing slowly, they need so many papers. So if you find the journal which are under growing stage, they can easily take your average data. So these are some basic strategy to publish very easily. So apart from this, we should think that if you do some experiments, either you publish only one paper or make it into the pieces. It depends on what results you have. But in any case, you should make focused research. Don't make something like a diffused story. That will take time and the journal always reject. So the point is, whatever the data, either short data or expanded data, make it like focused one. So that is the thing you should consider all the time. Okay, these are like simple strategies we should keep all in our mind all the time. Okay, so then what type of publications you can consider or you can avoid? So there are different kinds of publication. The common one is our journal publications. That is always we need. Apart from this, we can publish like whole book. Publishing whole book is actually very easier. Easier in the sense, if you have some proposal or idea, you have to make the outline, you have to make the different chapters, then you have to approach the the publishers like Elsewhere, Springer, Wiley, Bentham. There are so many publishers. Currently, the Springer is more easier. So you have to approach the journal, then they will evaluate your proposal, then they will give you the freedom. Then you approach different authors, ask them to write the chapter and collect everything and make the collection and correct it and submit to the journals. The good thing with book editing is they will give the full freedom to the editor. Journal will not interfere. Another good thing is they will not consider like overlapping. So usually whenever you submit the journal to the common publishers, like common types of articles, they consider very particularly about plagiarism or similarity. So usually we should keep about maximum 15%. But if you go for book, it can go until 25 or 30%. That is a good thing. You can do it. So basically in the book kind of teaching, you have to write. So similarly, book chapters. So if you cannot make the book, you can write the only one chapter and you can approach the book editor and you can pass them. They will collect from you. They can send to the publisher. Finally, they will publish like book. And another one is monograph. Monograph is a kind of a single topic based book. So that is not very common. Sometimes some journal they have. And some journal gets a series of publication on one topic. So these are like something like extra. The main thing is journal articles. So whenever you consider the journal articles, journal make different category like letters-based journal, review-based journal, research journal, commercial journal, society journal, open access journal. So among these kind of journals, the commercial journals are generally easier because they will charge you when they publish. So similarly, open access. So whenever you consider the open access and the commercial journals, you have to pay. So that means you must have the funding. If you don't have, better go for free journal. And if you consider the society journal, usually it is valuable, like American Chemical Society, Royal Chemical Society, Botanical Society. Even in Sri Lanka, you have some local society-based journal. So these are all kind of valuable because the society people, they maintain the journal for very long time, nearly 100 years, 50 years like this. And proceedings. So proceeding is the collection of papers, usually after the conference. So after the conference, people collect the journals, papers, then they will publish like their own collection. They will approach the publishers or the journal, then they publish. So that is kind of least consideration. Yeah. So if you cannot publish in the journal, you can go for proceeding. And apart from this, if you find something new, you can go for patent. You should know patent filing is very easy. For patent filing, you don't need to have complete finding. You don't need to reveal everything. You have to, even you have simple idea, you can patent. Only thing is you have to pay and file it. So after 3 to 5 years, they will evaluate. Then they will give you the feedback. If really you can make it, you can make the patent. So that means patent filing is easier. Getting patent, complete patent is kind of difficult. Okay? So apart from this, if you are working on DNA or a protein structure, if you find some new DNA sequences or new structure, you can go for database and you can publish your genetic code or your new structure, whatever it is, you can publish. So these are like an overall outline. But as a researcher, we have 3 main options to publish. One is full articles. Second one is a letter or short communication. Third one is review paper. So if you find something very new or novel, better go for letter or short communication. So letter or short communication, usually 2 or maximum 3 pages with 2 or 3 figures. So that means you find something new, need to publish immediately. So that is a kind of a good thing, we can do it. And another good thing is once you publish a letter or short communication, you can expand further. You can again publish like full article. So that means if you find something very new, very novel, you can get 2 articles. One is a letter or short communication followed by full articles. And a review paper is kind of expertise to write. So even anyone can write. So that means you have to be kind of fully familiarized with your own field. You have to read different papers, you understand, and write with your own view. So that means you are reading many papers and you are giving new view, review. So that is a review papers. So, but anyone can write. So the thing is, generally people expect only the experienced people can write the review, but it is not the really case. Even PhD student can write because you are working in the field for nearly 4 years, 5 years. Still, you can write the review paper. Okay, this is the 3 kinds of manuscript. Generally, the common students and researchers are writing. And how you can find the journal, how you can choose the journal. So whenever journal starts, the editors or journal organizers, they get some basic approval from the publishers or some database or some organizers. They will get the basic approval number, ISBN, ISSN number. So with the time, the journal will get some citation whenever author publishes. So at certain level, they reach some number of citations, then they will reach the status called Scopus. So then we should consider Scopus is the minimum, like a kind of borderline or minimum baseline to evaluate the journal. Whenever you see the journals under Scopus, it is a reasonably good journal. So once the journal reach Scopus, they try to promote, then they will go to the next level of status. It is called emerging sources citation. So that is the moderate level after Scopus. Once the journal get the good status, it is called ISI. So ISI can be categorized into 4 divisions called Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. How you can find ISI status? There are different databases called Web of Science, Journal Citation Report, JCR, Thomson Reuters. These are all like some of the kind of database where you can go, you can find the ISI journal. So apart from these kind of 3 kinds of articles, if you have some small data or unpublished data, you can go for conference proceedings. So here I give the link where you can find the list of journal under which you can find the ISI status. So this is the general types. Apart from this, if you want to publish even one day one paper, it is very easy. Then you have to choose the editorial. So whenever you see the journal, there is a division called editorial. So you can see letter to editor, comments, reply, commentary, correspondence. These are all like 1-page article. Anyone can write. So, but it should be very focused. Even if you submit the journal, next day they will accept without any revision. So that means this kind of 1-page article is called editorial. You have to write very precisely. Even one figure is okay. Even many journal without figure, they will accept. But the good thing is this kind of editorial articles also appear under Scopus, even WOS, Web of Science. So that means if your university consider any article coming under Scopus as a KPI, Key Performance Index, you can consider editorial also. So it is very easy. You can publish even 100 papers per year. Then how to evaluate journal? So as I said, whenever you see the indication called SCI, SCIE, SSCI, ESSC, these are all like indication to evaluate the journal as a high level kind of ISI. So even you can see Science Citation Index, Science Citation Index expanded. That means SCI, SCIE. So like this you can see. So if you go to the journal main page, you can find all these things. where they cited. So about a citation category, you can see. So that is the general evaluation. If you want to evaluate by yourself, like a personal evaluation, there are three common like a database. One is a Google Scholar, another one is a ResearchGate, another one called Scopus. So Scopus is very common and reliable. Google Scholar also commonly people are followed, but sometimes it's mislead. If your name is sometimes if your name is Asanga, so many Asanga is there. So all papers published by all Asangas will coming under a own account. Even if you create your own account like Asanga, so many papers will come in. Even your other people published with their name, it will come. So that means it is kind of tricky thing. It is kind of mixed up. But the Scopus reasonably like counted. That means the how to say the Scopus is kind of manually edited. You cannot edit easily. If you want to edit, you have to approach the managing editor. They will handle your account. So generally under this database, you have to consider three things: number of publications, number of citation, and H index. So among these three, H index is very important and people commonly consider. How to calculate the H index? So there are two examples I have given here. In the top panel, the person has 23 citations. In the top, the woman has the 23 citation. But in the top one, the person has H index only 3. In the bottom, the woman has the H index 4. Even though both has same citation, both has same number of citations, they have different H index. How? Usually H index means, for example, this person has a H index 3. That means first 3 must be 3 and above cited by journals. So 3, here I think 4, and here 8. If this person want to have the 4, this must be 4 and above, 4 and above, 4 or above, 4 or above. If he want to have the 5, the first 5 must be 5 and above, 5 and above, 5 or above, 5 or above, 5 or above. Like this, you have to maintain. The point is, try to avoid the self-citation. Even you cite your own paper, still you can get your H index. But generally people consider your paper cited by other people. So the point is, try to maintain your H index. And whenever you go for a Scopus, so you can evaluate your own citation. You can also go for your institute citation. Under institute citation, you can find total authors, total documents, and how many patents. So everything you can find. If you click authors under your university, you can find your own name. So like this, each database has own style, so own kind of arrangement. You can go and see. So as I said, the journal has a different status: Scopus, emerging, sources of citation, and ISI. So under ISI, there are 4 categories: Q1, that means quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, quartile 4. Sometimes a low impact factor can be Q1, high impact factor can be Q2. It depends on number of journals. For example, in the field of bioprocess, there are many journals. So if you, let's say under bioprocess, there are 800 journals. So first 200 journal considers like Q1. From 200 to 400 considers the Q2. From 400 to 600 consider as Q3. From 600 to 800 like a Q4. So it depends on number of journals. If in particular field, for example, biology field, there are so many thousands of journals. So that's why usually we find even high impact journal has very low quartile. Even Q3 has high impact. So it is because of high number of journals in the particular field. Okay, so now I'm coming to the point. How you can prepare the articles. So you should consider 5 points. You must have the very clear data. Don't think you have so many data, I want to include all data into one paper. That is wrong. Even a few data is okay. Must be very clear. Usually student try to bring all data into one paper. Even they bring a negative data also in the paper. If you think your data is not very clear, better remove it. Only bring the clear data. Journal need only clear data. If you bring ambiguous data, that will be negative for your paper. Better remove negative results, ambiguous result. Only keep the clear result. And your presentation must be very clear. Don't write unnecessary things. Some people want to write, I want to write more than 20 pages. That is not a thing. Even 10 pages, 5 pages, okay. Make like a clear presentation. Make a clear flow. Write in good way. So if you want to someone read, it must be interesting. Don't write something like very diluting sentences. That kind of things you should avoid. The thing is, whenever you write the paper, first write what you feel. So you did the experiment, you have your own data, you know what you did, just to see your result, write your own way. For example, you did with a different temperature, then from 10 to 50, then you can write easily. I performed my experiments from 10 to 50. I found maximum activity at 50. After 50, the production was declined. This kind of sentences, you don't need to refer any paper. Just write your own. So that is the way to write. For discussion, later you refer the paper. Even for methodology, you should write your own sentence. Of course, you refer some paper. But you can write your own methodology, even though you refer some paper. Because you know what you did. You can say, I take a solution A and B. I mix in 2:1 proportion, 2:1 ratio. I stir for 1 hour at room temperature. So for this kind of things, no need to refer any journal. Even though you refer other journals, you have to write your own sentence. So that is the way to write. By that way, it will be very clear. So you will have more confident. You will reduce the plagiarism. You will reduce the similarity. So you will feel your own paper. Yeah. So these are all things you should consider whenever you write. And if you want to go for good journal, you should consider like whether your paper is ready or not. So that means where results must be original, methodology must be original. You should have some good new results. Something like even though you followed some previous work, you should add something more, something extra. You cannot say, I found exactly same paper, same results published previously. My senior already published, I got the same results. Then why you want to publish? Already published, why you want to publish? So you need to have something extra. That is the thing. And you should add something new review. So that's why we always inform the student. Only refer last 5 years references. Don't go for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years literature. So if you refer only last 5 years, automatically you will be updated. So these are all like a main thing. Don't publish like duplicated data. Don't make incorrect conclusion. Don't do anything with outdated work. So these are all like a simple thing you should know before write the paper. And when you write the paper, first prepare the table and figures. Don't start from the title, abstract, keywords, introduction. That is the format for journals. But when you write the paper, you should have the proper order. First, make the clear figures and table. That is the first thing you should do. Because you are going to write by seeing the figures and tables. Because with the figures and tables, you are making the clear and the correct results. Then just to follow your figures and table and you write the results and discussion. Of course, you can also write the methodology. So these are like, first write the figures and table, then write the methods, then write the results, then write the discussion, then make the conclusion, finally write the introduction. Don't start with the introduction. If you write like this, writing introduction is the very easy. So finally write the abstract and make the title. So these are all like a common way to write. But generally, many students write in reverse way. They start with the title, abstract, introduction, conclusion, something like that. That will collapse your paper. Yeah. If you are writing a review article, you should make the multiple figures, clear subtitles with the self-explanation and focused title. Okay. So these are all the things you need to do. And whenever you make the title, it should be very catchy. The words in the title must be attractive, catchy, precise, informative. Don't repeat the words. Sometimes people repeat the word nano, repeatedly, nanoparticle, nano hybrid, like this. No, don't repeat the words. So that will dilute your focusing point. So whenever people read the title, should not have any repeated words, and it should have the catchy words. Okay. And if you are writing the review article, you should have the words like an update, comprehensive review, insight and updates, current surveillance, current state of arts, cutting edge technology. Like this, for review article, there must be some keywords in the title. But technical article must reflect your whole work. So that means title must represent your complete work. So your title must be reflected in the abstract, introduction, methodology, result, everywhere. Not only for thesis, papers. For thesis also going to the same. If you are writing the title, must reflect everywhere. So then usually if you see in any journal paper, first title, then abstract. Abstract must have some category, like first 1 or 2 sentences, like a background or aim. The second or third sentence or 2 or 3 sentences with methodology. But for review article, no methodology. Then you should write the results. Results must have some value. Like if you are working on nanoparticle, what is the size? If you are working on optimization, what is the optimum condition? Don't write, I optimize. If you are optimized, what is the output of optimized condition? What is the temperature? What is the pH? What is the concentration? So if you are writing some result, what is the output? If you are writing about some term, what is the size? If you are writing about FTIR, what is the wave number? How many peaks? If you are writing the XRD, what is the number? And what is how many peaks? What is the predominant peak? What the peak represent? What major peak represents? Like this must give the clear results. And the last sentence give the conclusion or significance, something towards the future direction. So these are all common thing you should follow. Yeah, some journal already force you to write what is the background, what is the method, what is the result, what is the conclusion. But most of the journal, they don't have the division, but you have to keep all divisions like one paragraph. And keywords. The major mistake is many people repeat the keywords from the title. The purpose of keywords is to search your article. If already there are words in the title, automatically will be searched by Google Scholar, whatever database. So that means you have to give the keywords not from the title. So keywords should be something unique, like a nanocomposite, gold nanoparticle, biosensor. Don't write optimization, purification, extraction. So these are all like a process. That is not keywords. Keywords, something unique from the your article or your research. And the next will be introduction. So please remember, whenever you write please refer the last 5 years, maximum 10 years. 5 years is better. Then automatically updated. Because introduction kind of, you refer something like previous work. Yeah. Of course, you can write the pioneer work from old publication. That is okay. Because pioneer work is very strong. Sometimes like ELISA method. ELISA method is 1970. That is a gold standard. That cannot be changed. That kind of thing, you can add the old reference. Even first report you can do. You can also write some statistical report. For example, COVID. You can write how many people affected, like some recent database. Don't write like a very old database. If some statistical analysis must be recent. So you have to write what people developed under the introduction. You have to write what people developed, what are things lacking, what you are going to fill, and what is the rational logic of your study, what is the goal of study. So these are all things must be in the introduction. Don't write something whatever you want. No. So this is the strategy you should follow. And when you go for the methodology, after the introduction, you have to write the methodology. Actually, I am arranging the slides based on the journal steps. Yeah. Okay. Under methodology, so first you have to write where you obtain the material, source of material. What is the company? And what is the country? And what is the name of the reagents? If you purchased some specific buffer, what is the pH? So like this critical thing. Precise method. Don't write diluted sentences like I stir for first time, second time, like this. You stirred it for how long, at what temperature? Simple thing. If something very critical, you have to write elaborately. Don't write a common thing repeatedly, dilutely. So your methodology must be precise. You should write the critical steps. The main thing is someone read must reproduce. And your unit must be very exact one. Units is very important. If you are following the concentration, what is the concentration? Molar, nanomolar, picomolar. If you are writing the FTR, what is the scanning range? So like this, you should write exactly. And you have to write the calculation, formula. So these are all must coming under the methodology. Don't write the formula and the calculation under the results. No, that is wrong. And when you go for results and discussion, so some journals, they ask you to write separately, results separately and discussion separately. But most of the journal, they accept you can combine results and discussion together. So whenever you write the results and discussion, first you have to write observation. So what you are going to say, briefly summarize. Yeah. So for this, you don't need to refer anything. Just write. I am going to discuss. I produce a new material. I optimize this condition. I am going to discuss this kind of optimization. Like this, simply write. So main thing is don't immediately refer any paper. Usually, whenever I write my paper, I don't refer any paper. I write whatever I feel from my results, whatever I did, whatever method I follow, everything I write. Only for discussion, I follow the different paper. Even for the discussion, there are different categories, like academic discussion. For academic discussion, you don't need to refer any paper. Because whenever you write something, you should know the reason. If you prepare the nanoparticle, the size is bigger, you know why it's bigger. Because you added some reagents, you added some plant extract. Our size is smaller. Why it is smaller? You added some surfactant. So if you add some surfactant, you write. When adding the surfactant, the surface tension may be reduced. It makes the particle size smaller. For this discussion, you don't need to refer any paper. This is called academic discussion. So academic discussion based on your understanding. So if you are understand clearly, you can write whatever you want, but within the logic. Don't write something illogic. Must be scientific. So you can write. And another important thing, make clear subtitles. So nowadays, so many journals, so many scientists, so many publications are coming out. Reviewer first read the subtitle. So when they read the subtitle, subtitle must explain about the research. Especially review article. Review article, you are writing so many pages. The subtitles are very important. Yeah. So make sure the subtitles are very important. You can repeat the subtitles per methodology also in the results, but in different way. So for example, under methodology, you are writing optimization of condition for nanoparticle. So same thing you can write in the results and discussion, but you have to write optimized condition for the nanoparticle production. So the term, the meaning is same, but the handling word must be different. Yeah. So you should write simple word. Don't write something like a complicated words, like you read from some novel, bring to the your paper. No, that is not important. Must be simple word. Main thing is understanding. Yeah. Don't think you write some vocabulary, new vocabulary. That is maybe okay, but not really important. Yeah. So main thing is everyone must understand. And a critical discussion. Yeah. So this is for this you should refer the previous literature. You can find some related paper, recent paper, and you can critically discuss what they obtained. So if you are obtaining the same thing, why you obtain the same thing? If you are modified, so what will be the output? So whether enhanced or reduced. Even a negative results also you can write. Even some journal, it called failure analysis. You can write the paper, why you failure. So that means if you get the failure results, don't worry. Still you can write the result, a paper. So you can write the paper, why you failed. So this is the reason make you to fail. That also paper. So that's why I say any data can be publishable. The point is where to publish. Yeah. And the good thing is, and the important thing is, you can do the same kind of strategy, same kind of same kind of focusing point with the different experiments. So that means your results is going to the same, but a different experiment. For example, you are working on the nanomaterial, you have to do the SEM, TEM, AFM, but it is going to be the same results. So SEM and TEM and AFM going to be give the your size and shape of the nanoparticle. So all experiment give the size and shape of the nanoparticle, but it is a kind of strong evidence. That's why many journal want to have the same results, but a different experiment. So that is a very important thing. Especially you are working on material science, you have to do the experiment with one material with different approaches. So here there is an example we did with the zinc oxide with the gold hybrid. We did SEM, TEM, XPS, XRD, everything. All will give the results for zinc and gold. So that means if you are giving the multiple results with same focusing point, that means where it avoids, even though you have the handling error, machine error, the output is same. Yeah. So if output is same, your handling has no error, your machine is perfectly working. So that is the meaning. So that means even though your result is only one, better go for different experiment, different approaches. And so if you are going with different concentration, different thing, make with the increment or decrement results with error bar. So these are all something like a key point you need to consider. So this paper we published in scientific report, but we synthesized only zinc oxide and gold nanocomposite. So our focusing is only hybrid material, but the results are same. Still, we can go for good journal, high impact. And if you are going for a review paper, your figure must give the multiple information. Technical paper can give the only information. If you are go for review paper, your figure give the multiple information. That is the review, because you are compiling many things. So you should know what is the difference between review and the technical paper. Yeah? And this is for technical paper. So we have the TEM image and we make the cartoon. So see, my student make the nice cartoon. We use only PowerPoint. You don't need to have any software. With the PowerPoint, you can make a very clear cartoon. So whatever you have the same results, you can make the cartoon. So here we made a different same image, but actually the same image has some differences with some spot something. But we also explained with some cartoons from a PowerPoint, then it is more attractive. If you have only some, it is a kind of simple figure. If you add some more images, because for these images, you don't need to do any experiment. Just make use of the PowerPoint and use it. And your figure must be, or data must be convincible. So here I give some data. In the top panel, only 3 peaks. And the bottom, there is another peak. So that means if you add some metal or some more thing, there must be new peak appear. So that is more convenience. Yeah. And for review paper, even though some data you can get from some journal, you should have some cartoon, everything. So this is the difference between normal, technical and review paper. So review paper must have the multiple data. And your figure has the clear-cut dose-dependent changes. So increment or decrement must give. Don't do with only 1 concentration, 2 concentration. Must have at least 5 concentration. Yeah. Then you can get the clear increment or decrement. If you have the different temperature, at least 5 temperature. Different pH, at least 5 T. So similarly for review article. So if you have different increment, must have the different data. Figure legends usually must explain whatever you have in the figure. Because nowadays, good journals, they must explain everything in the figure legends. Condition, what the critical condition, what are the unit used. If you follow any accession number from the database, you should give the accession number. If you have the copyright, give the reference. So if you have the figure insert, you can insert many figure. So you have to explain. So these are all must be under figure legends. So if you have some data extra, don't bring it into the main text. You can go to the supplementary. Supplementary is the extra data, like some additional data, important data, high throughput analysis, some data from the database, and some evidence for reproducibility, some supporting statistical analysis. So you can put everything in the supplementary. Supplementary usually only available online, not appear in the print. So even whenever you see the paper, under the paper, they have the link to access the supplementary. So that means usually extra data, you can place it in the supplementary. Table, don't repeat the graph and the table. Don't repeat the same data in the graph and table. So if you have the graph, that same data should not be in the table. You can make the table and you can calculate the based on data. You can calculate the percentage or some other thing. Then only for percentage, you can make the graph. Don't do exactly same data in the table in the graph. That is wrong. So under the table, you can have the something comparison, footnote, something from important data from the database or something. So table kind of precise will bring different thing. For review paper, you must have the combined table, like a condition, method, what are the dimensions, what are the optimizations, what is the limit of deduction limit, and the references. So review table must be combined one. Conclusion, generally don't repeat same thing from the abstract. So conclusion must justify your abstract. So you should explain what you achieve, and you should write something like a future direction. In the review article, something like a future perspective. So these are all like a basic thing in the conclusion, under the conclusion. The references, better go for last 5 years. Better get it from high impact journal, include the pioneer work. So if you are submitting to some particular journal, get some references from the same journal. So if you have, if you have something like your own publication, you can include, but don't include so many. So usually self-citation must be limitation, maximum 5%. Yeah. And some other consideration, usually covering letter, not really important. Highlights are important for elsewhere journal. Graphical abstract is important for several journal. Abstract is very important. Reviewer suggestion is a kind of increase the acceptance. So if you sometimes journal consider, or most of the times journal consider your own suggested reviewer. Yeah. So that will promote your acceptance rate. Usually now from October to December, time to publish, because by March, the impact factor will be released. That means some journal have the 1,000, some journal need, or any particular journal need 1,000 paper. They have only 500 paper. So from within this year, before March, they must have another 500 paper. Then they try to collect all average data, all average paper. So that means if you want to publish, better publish from October until maximum January, because by March, the impact factor will be released. If some journal cannot reach the impact factor, they try to accept the moderate data. Okay. Other contribution must include in the journal, and you should have the a declaration with conflict of interest. So that means you cannot include your father's name, brother name, sister name in the paper. So you cannot include your supervisor in the reviewer suggestion. You cannot include your known friends in the reviewer suggestion. Self-citation must be less than 5%. Okay. Until that, how to prepare? But whenever you go to the journal, there are a basic process. So when you submit the journal paper to the journal, you must know the journal is really suitable or not. So if suitable, submit it. The editor will assign the reviewer. It will take some time with the reviewer. Then reviewer will give the comments. Then based on recommendation, the editor will send back to you. It can be minor revision or major revision or reject. Direct acceptance is very rare, very rare. Even I published thousands paper, I have only 5 papers directly accepted. If major revision, it will be go back again to the same reviewer. Then if reviewer accepted with your revision, then it will be accepted. If minor revision, may not go back to again same reviewer. The editor decide and they will publish. They will accept it. And you can follow you can track your status of submission. You can see something like with the editor, like is it revision, something like minor revision, something like awaiting editorial in charge decision. So these are like online indication where you can find the status of your paper and where to publish. So if you ask me, always aim for high impact journal like Nature, Science, Cell. For PhD student, must go for Q1, Q2. For final year project, must focus on Q3, Q4. Usually bachelor student come for only 1 year, final year project. So that kind of paper suitable for Q3, Q4. Only preliminary data can go for Scopus or conference. So PhD student must go for Q1, Q3. There are many journal you can go for easily, Q1, Q2. And you should remember rejection is very common, very common. Never give up. If reject, you can improve, you can go for much higher impact factor. I have so many experience. We try with impact 3, rejected, then we modify, we go for impact 5. So like this, you can improve the paper. Rejection is mainly for improving your paper. Don't disappoint, never give up, just go ahead. And how to increase acceptance? So if you work alone, you can do it faster. If you go for group, you can make good paper, but it will take time, but you can go for a long time. So main thing is, so whenever you make a collaboration, you have to make a good relationship. You have to make a good ethical principle. Yeah? And so this is my way of publishing. So mostly make the clear image. So your 30% of your acceptance is coming from your images, PowerPoint. So even though you have the good result, your PowerPoint image is very poor, it will be rejected. Even though you have simple result, so your PowerPoint, your graph is nice, easily publishable. Work within the gaps. You can make short project, you can make many paper, make clear cartoon, use only clear data, write what you feel. Yeah, don't refer so many paper. You write, you must have the confidence, you have to write with your own feeling. Whatever you have result, just read it and write it. Multiple evidences for single idea. Attractive title. Choose partially relevant journal. For example, if you are working on biology work, don't choose the pure biology journal. They will expect more. You can go for bioprocess or some biomedical, some interdisciplinary journal. That will accept easily, basically increase acceptance. Write in simple and clear way. Make clear suggestion. Look for journal filling the gap. Just now I told. So during October to January, journal need more paper. try to find journal need, which journal need more paper. Just to submit, you can have more paper, more papers. And make clear paper. Here is the one example. This cartoon made by my bachelor student using the PowerPoint. Make attractive figure. So this is the another figure made by my PhD student using the PowerPoint. Make attractive figure. So this is attractive figure for methodology. So for methodology also, we can make a clear figure. So this is the another example. Even simple methodology, you can make the attractive figure. Only PowerPoint. So this is very clear results. Your results is it is a very simple assay. You can see clear zone here. One side, no compound, the fungus is growing nicely. Another side cannot grow because we loaded the some compound, yeah, antifungal effect. So it is a very simple. So the point is, don't use bold letter, don't use bold lines. Same font, same letter, make the clear, bigger fonts. Don't make tiny letters, tiny font. Because when journal publish, they will reduce the size of figures. So then people get annoying. So make the figure size, same font, same size, everything must be very uniform. Yeah. Even though no error bar, we publish this data in the Q1 journal. And never judge the quality of journal from the title. Here example, powder technology, but our paper is cellulose nanoparticle encapsulated cow urine. Because you should read the aim of the journal. Don't read only title. Yeah. So our published paper title is different from the powder technology. Whenever you see powder technology, we see something like powder, but that is not meaning. You should read the aim and scope of the journal. Similarly, Journal of Molecular Structure. When read the journal title, we think it should be some structure based, but we publish like a nanoparticle synthesis. So like this, you should read properly the aim of the paper, because whenever you go to the aim, the content is different, title is different. So that means their meaning should be different. Yeah. Don't think it is a structure based. Structure means chemical structure, molecular structure, any structure. Polymer also structure. Yeah. So similarly like this, material, but we publish the synthesis of nanomaterial, simple. And you should remember, journal need our help, we also need journal help. There are different sites from each publisher. You can put your title and abstract, it will suggest the journal, like say journal finder, journal suggester, journal finder. So you can find suitable journal using this website. So you can always go for a free journal. Mostly elsewhere they are free. Some has the option to transfer. Once you reject, the journal suggest option to transfer. Usually Springer free, Bailey free, Bentham, some are free, some are charged. So you can choose the free journal from all these publishers. And whenever you see this kind of indication, you don't need to have copyright. So wherever you see CC, Creative Commons, this kind of symbol or emblem you can see in the open access journal. So that means you can freely reuse the figures and table. So if you want to reuse the table and content or figures, just to find this kind of CC mark or CC with some other mark. So that means freely you can use it. No need to copyright. No need to have the copyright. If you don't have the symbol in the paper, you should have the copyright. Sometimes you have to pay. So that means go for this kind of symbol to get the free copyright. And you should follow the ethical issues. Yeah. Don't misconduct. Yeah. Don't fabricate the data. Don't do the plagiarism. Don't duplicate the submission. Some people submit same time in 2 or 3 journals. That is wrong. Don't duplicate. So don't duplicate the publications or repeat the journal. And once you reject, don't submit again, unless journal asks you to submit. And properly acknowledge, properly identify the author. If someone contribute, you should give the authorship. Don't misuse. Yeah. And you have to wait until you receive the final decision from the journal. So don't do submit parallelly. If a journal finds something, it will be retracted. Yeah. So you can find a retraction from many journals. So good thing is, so important thing is backup your data. You can buy the hard disk. you cannot buy the data. So always backup. So I like this quote by Albert Einstein. The science is very simple. It is a refine of our everyday life. Just to think, make a simple idea, you can make the good paper. So these are all like my collaborators. I like to thank. These are all my potential students, especially these two girls, very, very productive. So these two girls produced 25 papers within 3 years, and they completed the PhD in 2 years. So these are all my international collaborators. So this is our laboratory. So anyone can come if we have the funding. Only we have no funding. So if you have your own transportation, own accommodation for support, you can come. Once you come to our laboratory, we support for lab facility and lab reagents. Yeah. So you are always welcome to visit our laboratory. So this is our laboratory. It is in the main city. So our main aim is bridging and strengthening research collaboration from laboratory to industry. So you are welcome to collaborate our lab, and always you are welcome. So thank you for your attention. So if any question, you can ask me. So I would like to thank Dr. Ashanga for arranging this meeting.
Yes, thank you, Professor Gopi, for your insightful presentation on how to publish in high-impact journals. So now we are reached an important milestone, the question and answer sessions. So if you have any question, now you can ask from Professor Gopi. So this is a great opportunity you to further enhance your knowledge about preparing and publishing your manuscripts. So you can ask any questions.
Yeah, you can ask any questions. So actually, Dr. Asanga is our product. So he did a PhD in our laboratory. He knows what is going on in our laboratory. So he also one of the experts to publish the paper. So actually, writing paper is a kind of art. So don't think it is difficult. First 1 or 2 paper looks difficult. So when you write 2 or 3 papers, then you know what are the tricky thing, not tricky thing, shortcuts. Then you can write the paper. Yeah. So it is right. Some people write the novel, some people write the poet, it's a kind of a poetry. So like this, writing the research article is very simple, like writing a story. So don't think it is difficult. It should be simple. Yeah, because you are writing about your research. You are not writing someone's story. You are writing your own story. Yeah. Language is not a barrier. So first 1 or 2 papers will be kind of a barrier for writing, but after that it should be easier. So that is the main purpose of doing the PhD. During your PhD, you write 2 or 3 papers. So when you finish your PhD, you must be the expert in writing the paper.
Yes, Professor, when you see your profile, then there are so many publications. There are more than near to 1,000 publications. So how could you find the time to write this much of papers? And there are so many book chapters, then books and patents. So there are a lot. So in our context, then there are so many administrative works also in Sri Lanka. So how can you do these type of things?
Yeah, actually, in my case, I maintained my collaborators. Even I have collaborators for 20 years, 10 years. So I always follow the clear ethical guidelines. So if someone contribute, you must give the authorship. So that means maintain the collaboration. That is the first thing. Second thing is with the time, you know which journal is more easier, what kind of journal you should choose. What is the time to publish? All things you will be familiar. Since I have been working in this field for 25 years, I know all these kind of strategies. That is the thing. Another thing is every day, at least 5 hours I spend for correcting the paper, writing the paper. Yeah. So I must thank all my collaborators all over the world. So they are still maintaining. I have so many students with their collaborations. So these are all things made me to publish so many papers. So the main collaboration is I can suggest the paper as journals very easily in my field. Yeah, I cannot suggest in the history or geography, but nanotechnology or biology I can suggest easily, because I with experience everyone can be kind of a good researcher. Yeah.
Then another thing, Professor, then if we need to enhance our citations, then can you give any suggestions for that?
Yeah, actually, to enhance the citation, don't do the self-citation. You should work on current thing. Yeah. For example, nanomaterial. So everyone use the nanomaterial. Yeah. So gold is one of the important thing people doing with nanomaterial. If you make something different gold nanostructure, like a gold nanostar, gold nanoargine, gold nanorod. So the point is, if you find some material, make something different. That will enhance your citation drastically. And another thing is write a good review, something with a recent one. For example, during COVID, you must write on review on COVID. You should write on paper on COVID. Then that will enhance the citation. Be on the current line, current research line. Yeah. So you should have something like updated. Yeah. Then you should enhance your citation. But don't do so many self-citation. That is not correct.
Yes, thank you, Professor. So then another question from De Silva. Could you please explain the good journals to publish some theoretical works?
Theoretical works, yeah. So for theoretical works, the easier way is go for journal finder. Just now I displayed the link, or you can search in the Google journal elsewhere journal finder. Then you copy and paste your abstract. It will list so many journals with abstract. With the impact factor, with the percentage of acceptance, with the time of acceptance. So you can find everything. So if you are satisfied with the low impact factor, just to choose that journal, submit it. Then you will get. If you need very urgently, there is also some timeline. They mention this journal will take 1 week to publish. This journal, and publish means first decision, whether it can go for review or not. So like this, there are different wibbling under each publishers. So choose that publishers, put your keywords, title or abstract. Automatically, you will get enlisted with so many journals. Choose appropriate one and you can submit. So that is the easy way to find the journal. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. So, are there any questions?
So you can ask me any time, yeah, even not today. So you can ask Dr. Asanga.
Now
Or
time is
email me.
7:40, so you can ask if you have any question. Right. Thank you also. I hope each of you takes away actionable knowledge that will help you in your academic and research journey. So a heartfelt thank you to Professor Gopinath, Professor Subhash Gopinath, for sharing your expertise with us today, and all of you for your active participation. So it was great pleasure again to Professor, and it is great pleasure. It was a great pleasure work with you at University of Malaysia Perlis in the nanoelectronic lab, Institute of Nanoelectronics. So now the time for the conclude this session. So have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
you all. Thank you all.